Well, welcome to Richie's Roost in Shocco, Mississippi, where you and I haven't gotten together for at least a week. We are in a heat wave here. I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, but I checked my temperature gauge on the north side of my house this afternoon at 6 o'clock. The temperature gauge was in the shade on the north side of my house, and it registered 106 degrees. That is a little warmer than usual here. But we're not going to be overly long this afternoon for a couple of reasons. One is I need to get back in the house. As I've told you before, we are in the process of moving from Richie's Roost in Shocco, Mississippi to the Mississippi Gulf Coast in a couple of 3 weeks. And if you remember the last time you moved, I'm in the condition where you probably were, in that I am careful when I go in the house to watch where I go, because I may be at any time in danger of being boxed, labeled, wrapped, taped, or other indignities. And I remove myself to my digs and start putting my stuff up, getting ready for the movers to come in and do their final packing. So it's been kind of an interesting time here, and on top of the temperature and the moving condition, our schedule has become somewhat different. I say that, but realistically, when I think about what the people in Hawaii Maui, Hawaii are going through, and these other folks that have real problems, I'm blessed, and I'm sure you feel that way. But when you go through, as I have, pulling old things out and getting ready to box up and move or throw away or give away or get rid of in some case, you run into old things like this. I don't know how long it's been on the shelf, but it's been a lot of years, and I had forgotten all about it. So going through and pulling these old books out is like rediscovering old friends. This particular one is called 1,000 Beautiful Things. Now, you don't get more positive than that. And I saw something in this one the other day that I thought I'd share with you today. Now, it's a series of articles and poems and thoughts that people have submitted to this book for publication. And I thought I'd read one to you today. And I think it's beautiful enough so that it deserves really probably a better reading than I'll be able to give to you, because the thoughts are 100% agreeable by me. And I hope I can do it as smoothly as it deserves. The title of this work is called I Believe. Now, before I start, there's going to be a little quiz at the end of this thing. I want you to remember this little article and guess who wrote it. You may be surprised. I was. So we'll go through a couple of things after we finish this, and then we'll get back to who wrote it. Think about it. Now, there are some of you history buffs who know it, I'm sure, but most of us didn't. The title is I Believe. It says, I believe in the dignity of labor, whether with head or hand, that the world owes no man a living, but that it owes every man an opportunity to make a living. I believe in the supreme worth of the individual and in his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe that truth and justice are fundamental to an enduring social order. I believe in the sacredness of a promise that a man's word should be as good as his bond, that character, not wealth or power or position, is of supreme worth. I believe that every right implies a responsibility, every opportunity an obligation, every possession a duty. I believe that law was made for man and not man for the law, that government is the servant of the people and not their master. I believe that thrift is essential to well-ordered living and that economy is a prime requisite of a sound financial structure, whether in government, business, or personal affairs. I believe that the rendering of useful service is the common duty of mankind, and that only in the purifying fire of sacrifice is the dress of selfishness consumed and the greatness of the human soul set free. I believe in an all-wise and all-loving God, named by whatever name, and that the individual's highest fulfillment, greatest happiness, and widest usefulness are to be found in living in harmony with his will. I believe that love is the greatest thing in the world, that it alone can overcome hate, that right can and will triumph over might. You may be surprised who wrote it. We'll see. By the way, I was just looking and I had forgotten that I had worn this T-shirt, but that's another thing that I found that reminded me of something. I used to give talks a lot of times to small libraries all over the state, well, large and small, but I especially like the smaller ones. This T-shirt was a gift from the Jesse Yancey Memorial Library in Bruce, Mississippi. Look up Bruce, down south of Oxford. Good folks. Used to love to go talk to these small libraries. You may show up and there may be 6 people there who invited you to speak. Could be 40. I used to love to go to those. I especially remember one down in Tylertown, Mississippi, that used to be a popular place for me to go to. I liked them. Good folks all over, everywhere. So we're in a kind of a crazy schedule, moving and contending with this heat. So we're going to finish it up with talking about a very short talk about the author of that little article that I just read to you. You have any idea who might have written it? It was written by a man named John D. Rockefeller, Jr. And 2 things hit me. This was not the old man now. This was not the one who created Standard Oil, which was finally broken up into a bunch of different oil companies, Chevron and Exxon Mobil, examples. The old man started working, and the first job he had at $16 a month. Finally got a raise to $39 and then to $50 before he quit that job and went on to another one. He wound up with something like $39 billion, which made him the richest man in the world at the time. So first thought you have with somebody that wealthy, was that he had to be a money-grabbing old buzzard that nobody liked, everybody hated. That was not the case with John D. Rockefeller Sr. Churchman, taught Sunday school, as a matter of fact. Philanthropist. I don't know why I have trouble with that name, but in addition to all of the things like Rockefeller Center that he built and all of the good things that he did with his money, somebody like him is not a shrinking violet. And what's the word? He instructs people. And he instructed this John D. Rockefeller Jr., or he wouldn't have the beliefs that he had. So he knew how to raise kids too, evidently, in addition to spending money. Anyway, I plan to really dig into that man's biography and as best I can try to figure what made him tick. I am impressed with that, and I hope you are. So that's it for today, except for one other thing. You'll notice the pond behind me is down about a foot. I've been running my little fountain back there to hopefully keep enough oxygen in the water so that the fish don't die, and so far it's worked. So we're going to soldier on, get ready to go, and we'll be back together before we do that. But in the meanwhile, we'll be praying for rain and hoping that cold front comes through. Told somebody when the cold front next week comes through and drops down, way down into the mid-90s, I'm going to be sure and have a sweater available. Anyway, until we meet again, I'm Jim Ritchie, and I will see you again next time.